Good afternoon.
Hey,
Good morning. Good evening, everyone. Hi,
evening,
Ned.
afternoon, whatever time it is for you.
Right? How you doing
Yes.
this week, Ned?
I'm doing good, man. Busy week, busy, crazy week. Um, my son has like an appliance in his mouth for free braces, and it broke
Oh,
on Tuesday morning while he was at school. So I had to swoop in and and grab him and take him to the orthodontist for an emergency appointment, and then drop him back off at school. Uh,
that's
so that
always
was my
fun.
big excitement of the week. What about you? What's going on in your world?
It's been snowing a lot this week.
Yeah?
I've been like waking up every morning. I'm like, why is there snow? Like this is not normal. This is Canada. It's always cold, but not, nah. You know what? I remember sometime late last year, they were predicting that this year would be a very snow-filled, January, February, March even,
Mhm.
which is kind of interesting because for the last 5 years, it felt like it almost never snowed. Like maybe we had one or two major snowstorms, and then everything else has been pretty calm, pretty chill.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I'm working on getting one of my main clients into production, and it's kind of telling around like preparedness, right? Whether your tests will call out something or it unlocks or just kind of exposes gaps in their own environment, which is actually interesting to me because for all the times that I've taken folks into production, like I used to do a lot of it, but maybe back between 2012 to like 2017ish before I moved over to the pre-sale side.
Mhm.
um, and back then you would uncover a lot of things and you would learn and you would iterate and you would make your tests a little bit more resilient and you would actually call these prerequisites out beforehand. But it's just now it actually tells me that there are better ways to run chaos testing as well, and it'll even expose things on your own end. So it's fun. It's a good exercise. But other than that, yeah, it's been a pretty chill week. I've been really looking forward to the weekend so I can open up my Star Wars Outlaws game. I bought it
Ooh.
last weekend, and I just like it's still in its cover. Like I was like super ready to just pop it into the console. Then I started thinking, oh wait, I only have like I don't know, maybe 10 gigs left on my PS5, so I'm gonna have to free up space somewhere
Ooh.
else. And anyways, what are we here to do today, Ned?
Oh, well, we're first we're gonna say hi to some people. So, hi, Boris. Thanks for joining. Excited that you're here.
Oh,
And
awesome.
who
Welcome,
else we
Boris.
got?
It's
Roxy.
Roxy.
Do you know Roxy?
I totally know Roxy. Welcome to the
Awesome.
party, Roxy. How you doing?
Yeah. Ah,
So we got a Kansha?
Boris says you have time to game.
Sometimes I maybe have like I get to sneak in maybe an hour or two randomly.
Yeah, that's same here. It's I have to decide between which of my hobbies that I am allowed to do this week. And games has not been top priority recently. Been well, honestly, it's just been a lot of burning the midnight oil on projects. But
One of my projects actually is to effectively like work through my home lab again. And my home
Pedro?
lab, like I touched it last maybe October, installed Proxmox on a few nodes, and then someone gave me the bright idea of, hey, let's do Talos, bare metal Talos Kubernetes. And I'm like,
Hmm.
I tried to give it a shot, and I ran into I ran into issues. It's probably like something very silly in the BIOS with how it just reads USB keys and whatnot.
Yep.
But I also want to mention something. Like I posted something on LinkedIn, I think yesterday, about service mesh and its ties to like network engineering. And then Boris sends me a DM on LinkedIn and he's like, hey, I think you should live stream on service mesh. And I'm like, I remember doing that maybe like 3 years ago. I don't know if people are still up for it, but maybe we'll see.
Oh, well, always game for another topic once we finish with this one. But what are we doing today? What's the game plan?
So last week we got to a point where we were able to use the Claude, I think Haiku model, one of the models in Claude or Sonnet, to effectively do a little bit of image analysis. So you took a screenshot of us and fed it to the model by triggering the S3 bucket, and it just told us, I can't remember what it said, but it gave us a little bit of a description. What's really cool though is we can take that and expand upon it. But I think we want to cover some key areas today, like how to work with Lambda to be able to trigger when we see that new item in the bucket, for it to then prompt the LLM to then do that image analysis for like an alt text generator if we wanted to. But we also wanted to stand up Lambda with Terraform, right? Okay, so I think we're gonna have to do that. But before we do that, I think I have to give myself, actually both of us, Lambda permissions.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the AWS console again, our handy dandy AWS console. And I'll be real, we're not intending to complete all these tasks in one go. But we'll keep going as much as we possibly can, and we might hit some roadblocks. But I like the fact that we're already on episode 4 and we're getting somewhere, right?
Yeah, making progress. I like that.
Making progress, right? All right, so let's look up Lambda. Run code without thinking about servers. So
I don't know.
Why did you tell
about servers?
It's somebody else's server at the end of the day, but why don't we explain that to people? What is the intention of using Lambda? Why would we want to use it?
If you have a relatively simple function that you want to be able to run on demand, and you don't want to worry about maintaining the underlying infrastructure that runs that function, then Lambda could be for you. And it's particularly good at responding to events. So that sort of event-driven architecture. So when something happens, when something gets added to a queue, or it gets a message from a topic, or a new object is created in S3, or anything that happens could trigger a Lambda. You can even have one Lambda trigger another. So when this function executes, if this is the output of it, then it kicks off this other function. And so you can build, I think that's what step functions are. So that you can sort of build this chain of functions that kick off based off of an event. But at its very basic, Lambda is giving you a runtime environment for you to execute your code. And so all you need to do is add that code to the execution environment and configure the event that triggers it. And you can give it some other parameters around like how big the runtime environment needs to be. And then it does its thing.
That's pretty cool. So, whenever I've encountered technologies like Lambda, serverless functions of sorts, that methodology is really trying to allow you to run compute for a short-lived amount of time, which in a lot of ways translates to cost savings too, because you're not having to have like a server that's always on. Like I will tell you, my 3 NUCs that are in my home lab are always on, which as much as I'd love to power them down, but then I need a mechanism to power them back up when I want to use them. But Lambda and like serverless, that idea actually really helps with you just triggering the ability to run compute on demand when you need it, but then not have to pay for it in a sustained manner. So I like that. I like how cool that is. And here in the console, we even get to see like Lambda in action. Like here, I can run this and it will do some hello from Lambda. We can even change this. And oh wait, can I even change it? No, it won't let me. Oh, that's not
okay.
fun. All right. So let me ask you,
Yeah.
would we run our Python application as a Lambda function?
I think we could. I think that'd be a good place to start. So the vision board we had, and I think you still have that image
Yeah, let me.
somewhere, was when a new file is uploaded to S3. Like we were thinking a podcast, but it could be an image too. When that happens, that could kick off the Lambda, and the Lambda would be responsible for bringing that item in and doing something to it. That thing could be sending it over to AWS Transcribe to transcribe the audio file, or it could be invoking Bedrock to look at an image. So, like, there's a couple different things it could do.
All right, so let's open up our little flowchart analyzer here. So you're saying that we would put Lambda somewhere here? Well, let me make a new box. Lambda. And our Python code would live like right here, basically. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think we were planning to use Lambda after the MP3 had already been transcribed by AWS Transcribe. So I don't know if there's already an event that Transcribe can watch a bucket and do batch processing.
Okay. So let's look that up. All right. So should we look up some sort of the...
Let's look up Transcribe.
Transcribe. Okay. Call analytics. Use Amazon Transcribe call analytics for post call. No, that's not what we want. Media content search and monetization, subtitles and caption. Ooh, this might be it.
Transcription job is what we're looking for. Yeah.
Create a transcription job. Okay. And it even gives us the ability to browse S3. That's nice. Okay. Let me, there's two. You want to tell us a little bit about this Terraform state one?
Oh yeah, I added that. Since we're going to be working on this together, it made sense to move our Terraform state that's managing just the S3 bucket right now, but eventually managing some other stuff. I thought it made sense to move state to a remote location we can both access. So that second S3 bucket, Terraform state with all the numbers after it, that is holding the Terraform state for what is currently just managing that S3 bucket, the LiveStream on M.A.I.N 7281. But if we decide to create a Lambda with Terraform or do something with Transcribe, then you with Transcribe and Terraform, then we can add those to the existing Terraform config and stay in sync with each other.
So interestingly enough, it's looking for an audio format of sorts. I wonder if I have some audio somewhere here. I actually don't. Maybe I do, but it might be too large to, you know what? Let's just make an audio right now. I think it will only be able to capture me.
All right.
I got to open up QuickTime.
You're getting fancy. All right.
I mean, unless you have another suggestion of an MP3.
I don't want anything super long. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you could potentially download the MP3 of my my one podcast, Chaos Lever. Our Tech News of the Week stuff is pretty short.
Why don't you drop a link in the back-end chat, and I'll go look it up. Actually, no, you can share it in the main chat if you want. Let folks go and listen into the audio. And hello, Sophia. Thanks for coming by.
I put it in the private chat. I'll throw it in the public chat too.
All right.
I think it's easier to copy out of the private chat though.
Yeah. Okay, so option to download right here somewhere. I think it's like hiding.
Great question. I've never tried to download directly.
It's a short MP3 too. Like, more info. Maybe if I right click it. No. That'd be too easy. I remember when I could just right click things and I could just click download and be on its way. How would I do this? Let's just look for a sample MP3.
You want me to just upload it to the S3 bucket?
Yeah, let's go. I think that'd be
Just
way
do
easier.
that in the background. I mean, I created the file on my own, so it's like I have the file.
Actually, it's not going to transcribe an audio. I mean, sorry, a picture, but it will transcribe that audio for us.
Realized access are going to be a problem. Here, I'll just message. Yeah, I don't have an actual login. Oh, you know, that's a video. Well, I'm making this more complicated.
All right, I'm going to go to my backup sample MP3.
Yeah, just go to a backup because I'm realizing it's more challenging than I meant it to be.
I don't want to just download a random. Download this. Oh, this is definitely harder than it is.
Well, if you can, yeah.
Let me just quickly listen to it, make sure it's not like anything. Okay, so I can hear something going on, but that's there's no text. There's no like lyrics. I'm like fixing to like go back to my hard drive where I've got these old MP3s stored somewhere.
Oh my god! And we could get into so much copyright trouble.
But you know what? I do have an MP3 file on here. So a while back, I was trying to create a video. Not a video. I was trying to create okay. So I was trying to upload a video from a presentation that Eric Smalling and I did at DevNexus, and there was something odd about the audio, so I had to like try and fix it.
Here, I just dropped an MP3 in Slack that you should be able to use.
Oh, there we go. That saved us a lot of time. Apple Silicon security flaws. I love it. All right,
man, but we covered the tech news of the week, and one of the big ones last week was there's some flaws in the Apple Silicon that could allow for a side channel attack.
Oh, while I'm uploading my file, why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. It was two researchers discovered. You remember, like the Spectre attack for Intel, where it's using the speculative execution as a potential vulnerability. That's essentially what this side channel is doing with the M1, M2, and M3 processors. And as of right now, I don't think a patch has been issued. But right now, it's just a proof of concept. There's no known active exploits in the world out there, so you're safe for now. But it's something to keep an eye on, and be cautious about your browsing, as always. SRT is good. All
right. I'll leave it at 0. We always like to start at 0 if we're developers here.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to give it a name.
Ooh, we got to give it a name.
Live on main F4.
Okay.
Audio identification. Alternative results. Nah. Do I need any of this? PI redaction? Nah.
No.
Okay,
We don't need
let's
a custom
create-
vocabulary or any of that jazz. That would all be excessive.
Everyone's here like, what's going on? We're supposed to be doing Python and Terraform. And here we are like messing around with Amazon Transcribe. I think it's
mean, what's important to note, at least for me, is a lot of times when I'm getting to know a service on the cloud, even though I prefer to use Terraform to do the deployment going forward, when I'm first getting to know a service, I tend to use the portal because that's going to show me what the defaults are and give me the most streamlined experience to get something created. Once I've done it once, now I kind of have an idea of the shape of the thing. So when I go to code that in Terraform, I know what these properties are. I know what the attributes are and what they mean because I had that nice on-ramp to it.
I agree with that a lot because I would do the exact same thing. Like if I was trying to write a YAML for like a Kubernetes manifest or something, I'd imperatively do something first with kubectl before I start to build it out, because I can then reverse engineer that a little bit and then take that into a manifest and then throw it into some sort of automation if I wanted to. Mm-hmm. So the job is in progress and it's complete. Now it's here in S3. Well, no, it's not in S3, but here we go. Welcome to Tech News of the Week with your host, a duckbill platypus named Jose. Welcome to Tech News of the Week. This is our weekly tech news podcast where Chris and I dissect 4 interesting news articles that we found. So this is what you and Chris talked about, right?
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, it looks like it transcribed it really well. So that's good. Now the question is, how do we automate this? Mm-hmm. So I add a file to S3 and that triggers transcribe to go do one of these jobs.
So what I'd probably want to do is look up the API reference or SDK. Documentation.
There was a develop code samples. I bet that's what we want. So to your left.
There are code samples. Yep. Okay. Anything in Python? Oh, here we go. Record voice. Oh, look at this. Amazon Bedrock AI karaoke. Let's see if there's anything specific. I think what I'd really want to know, though, is here, Amazon Transcribe post-call analytics. That might be a good starting point. So it is using Bedrock and Hugging Face, and look, there's even an architecture.
Oh, can you zoom that in?
Yes, I can. Let's make that a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. So we can pretend that this would be our MP3, which gets stored into S3, and there's your trigger. But now there's a step function. We're not using step functions here, so we want to go right from here to transcribe.
Transcribe. Yeah. Okay, so that is the workflow we would use. We'd start with an event of file drop on the S3 bucket that Lambda's watching, and then have that kick off a Lambda that passes that MP3 to Amazon Transcribe to start the transcription process.
All right, let's go back to that example and look at the code. A lot lot of shell in here.
Here, let me.
PCA.
I'm going to send you a link that might be slightly more helpful.
Oops. Oh, that's even better. Yes, we need this. Sometimes repos are nice, but sometimes it's better to... here we go. Create vocabulary. Get transcription, list transcription jobs. Start transcription jobs. Transcribe audio. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do is let's just copy this, right? And let's go into our VS Code. And I probably need to pull. Let me reshare my screen, share my VS Code terminal here. Close this off. All right, I need to do another get pull.
All right.
All right,
so do you want to create another Python file in the Python examples?
Yes, let's go over there. Python examples. All right, let's create a new file here. Okay, cool. So now we've got time and Bodo. I want to reuse some of your upload though. So we can take this, right? Go over here. Because we don't have the ability to upload here. Hold on, let's see. What do we have here so far?
I don't think this code example is pulling from an well, it has a file URI, so we would need that. Okay.
So what we would probably need to do is define a function that allows us to upload that file. So we have upload to S3.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Bodo client.
And it returns the object URL, which is what we need.
Right. So we've got that. So we can basically take that. But I need to determine how it would actually refer to my downloads folder with that MP3 or a new folder.
That would be through the prompts. So that's how we were doing it before, is if you scroll down to like the main.
Yeah, let's go back to this one. Main right here. Ah, yes. Okay, so maybe let's take some of this main and then go here.
Now we're cooking. All right.
And okay, so we have two mains here. So we've got a file path. We need this transcribe client. So I will take this and drop that there.
Mm-hmm.
Transcribe file.
I think you just put that in the else block.
Oh, I did. That's right.
No, you didn't. Oh, I'm wrong.
No, I didn't. Yeah, that's right. Okay. But before we do that, let's kind of read through this. So we've got a file path, bucket name, object URL upload to S3.
Mm-hmm. So we retrieve the object URL, and if there is an object URL, we're good. And then the next couple things were...
Let me comment this out because we don't need it.
Yeah, we don't need the prompt or the object name or the result.
So let's glue that out. Let's take this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've got a transcribe function, file URI. So
You can delete the file URI
and
line.
replace that. Oh,
You can just delete the whole thing. And then for the transcribe file function, just put in the object URL instead of file URI variable.
URL. Okay. I guess we're cooking. Get rid of this define main.
Mm-hmm. And there's no result to print down at in the main function.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So we aren't using any sort of Bedrock at the moment. We're just straight up using the transcribe service.
Mm-hmm. This will kick off the job, if I understand it correctly, but then we would need to watch that job for when it completes to do the next thing.
Okay, so what I need to do is I need to create a Python environment. Oops.
Yeah. Oh, you don't already have one. Okay.
I think I might have. Oops. What is it? Source? No. Maybe it's not that one. You know what? I have this stored somewhere. I did this like 500 times already, and yet again, I forgot how to do it.
Well, if it's in your env folder, you just expand that out.
Actually, hold on here. Here we go.
Okay.
New Python environment, and then source. Actually, I have that. Okay, now I'm in there, and then I've got to do pip install Bedrock again.
Well, I don't think we need Bedrock for this.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Bodo.
What do we need? I think we need Bodo 3, and I'm not sure if there's anything else at the top of the file.
Maybe time?
Yeah, time was.
Okay. All right, let's just fire away and see what
If it
happens.
runs.
Yeah. Okay, there's a file path. Now I have to go to my downloads folder. Get info. Wish it was really easy to know, like. You know, why isn't it easy enough to just determine the file path in Mac? Hold on, open with get info. You know what? I'm going to rename this so it can actually be easier to read. So rename Apple flaw.mp3. And then I could just do this. That was easy enough. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right.
S3 bucket name. All right. We need the S3 bucket name.
What's it? LiveStream.
It is LiveStream on M.A.I.N. Let me go back to my VS Code. I'll drop it in there. Ooh, okay. What did we? File upload failed. self.api call. The file was not found.
Oh, you might have given it a bad path.
No, that should be the path.
Maybe without the quotes on it.
Maybe, yeah. I probably didn't understand the. Yeah, probably didn't understand that. And then we're just going to copy this. Ooh, here we go.
All right. You want to switch over to the console so we can see the job in process?
Let's go. Where was I? Wait, I am in the console. Why is it? There we go. Okay, let's go here. Oh, there it is. It's called example job.
Sure is.
Because I totally didn't have that name. that is a little bit of error handling that we have to do at some point. So okay, so we've gotten to a point where we can now upload an MP3 file directly to Transcribe. But if we didn't want to use Transcribe, we could do this with Bedrock effectively, which is an alternative.
I don't think Bedrock directly does transcription. So
Okay.
what we would do is we would take the output of the transcription and then feed that into Bedrock to do something with it.
Okay. So I guess in our code here, we have to create another variable to store the text, I guess. The output of that transcription, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually curious if there's another job name. Oh, we never asked for a job name. Interesting.
And we could certainly add that as a variable, so it's not the same job every time.
Yeah.
Or we could make the job name the name of the file. There's like a couple different ways we could handle that.
Ooh, this is taking a little longer than I thought. Is my transcribe file. Oh, okay. Download transcript from this location. Interesting. So you can't see it in my VS Code terminal, but it just literally gave me this super long URL that now is.
So it did eventually return a value that has the transcription.
Right, exactly. So I'll represent my other screen here, and you can see what it output. So once the job completed, it gave me a link to a bucket, and I put that in my browser, and it downloaded this file right here. So basically, it's the same. Ooh, what's this additional data? Chaos Lover. It's Chaos Lever, right?
It is Chaos Lever, yeah.
So that's interesting. How do we increase the accuracy is another interesting
Part of it is you can submit a custom vocabulary. So
Mm.
if you have words that are not necessarily common words, but you know they're going to appear, it's really useful for technical jargon or for, you know, medical or anything that is very jargon heavy. You can add in those jargon words and it will kind of look for them. Um,
So probably what I'll do is we have to implement some logic so that it picks up on these quotes. Actually,
I don't think so. I think we could submit this JSON directly to Bedrock
Bedrock. Okay. Let's
with the
go back to our
prompt.
okay, let's go back to our transcribe
So, what
function.
did we receive back as a return from the transcription job?
This right here. So
Okay. So, our transcription function should return that S3 URL. Right?
yes.
So we have to update the existing function to do that. The transcribe file function. Because right now it doesn't
Oh.
return anything. It just kicks off the...
Mm-hmm. So it looks at the transcribe file. So this is a function though. So it's
So
taking
you just have to update the function. If you scroll up to the function, so see where it says if job status completed, print.
here we go. Okay.
So in there, what you want to do, in addition to print, is return the value that's in the transcript file URI.
Well, it did though. Like this is the value, no?
It printed it back to the terminal, but what we want is to actually return it as a value so we can store that in another variable and pass it along. So
Okay,
if job status is completed, after the print statement, we want to return, and we want to return job, I think just transcript file URI, right?
let me just take this. So maybe we don't need to print this.
I think it's good to print it so we don't have to print out the whole URI. That seems like a lot.
So could we store this URI in a variable?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we return that, and then we already have in our previous, from last week, in the bedrock.py, we have a function that will take an S3 object and parse it with Bedrock. We kind of stitch that all together.
Oh, it's in the S3 upload.
Oh, S3 upload. Okay. Right, so we don't need to upload S3 because it's already there. So we don't need that function. But the analyze image with Bedrock is close, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because that assumes that the object is already in S3.
So what we can do is we can take this entire function.
I think we'll probably have to tweak it a bit, but I think we can take that entire function and copy it over.
Okay. This is where we start to get a little bit more like, hey, maybe we should start breaking these up into different files. Okay.
Maybe if we get there. All right.
All right. So we have a define analyze image with Bedrock. Now we're going to rename this function to define.
You say analyze transcript with Bedrock.
Yeah. Summarize transcript with Bedrock.
Ooh, I like that. Summarize.
And then we'll feed it this. We have to feed it this somehow.
Yeah. Do we need to give it the bucket name, or can we just give it the URI?
We could just give it the URI.
That's what I think. So we could change the arguments to just like
this right here, right? This right here.
Yeah, the transcript. I mean, we changed the argument to a local variable for that function, for that method.
So I guess we can call this. Where would I define that variable?
That would be in the main. So
okay. I'm gonna hide some of this stuff here.
Okay. Yeah, in your main
here.
function, after the transcribe file method now returns a value. So we got to give a variable to hold that value.
Maybe this right here, is that it?
Yeah, you can delete the line above it then.
Okay. Now we've got a transcribe file summarize. And then we can go in and
we need a new prompt for it.
Yeah. So what I can do is you are a transcript analyst. Please summarize. Hold on. Key details. I don't know. Please summarize this. Okay. And then
I think you can remove the rest of that.
Yeah. Okay. And now we have to.
Yeah, you can delete that object name line because we don't have to break it apart. But we do want you can delete that whole.
Okay.
And delete the result.
We have to now mess around with this right here. We don't have a base 64 encoded image. The S3 object isn't this right here? The transcribe file?
Yeah. Do we have to give it the object?
Because we don't need this. Response S3 get object bucket name. Call this text.
Yeah, media type you'd want.
We don't need to do base 64 encoding either. Well, we're almost there. It's .json, I think, right?
I'm not sure. Hold on, I'm checking.
We got a little hint here. Read the file and return transcripts alone from JSON.
It looks like the S3 client get object does require the bucket name and the object key separately. So we're still going to have to take that URL and separate out the two components.
So we do have a bucket name because we've defined it earlier on. We do have an output, which is further down here or somewhere up here.
We did this in the S3 upload Python, so we can just look at how we broke it up for that. I think it was in the main. Yeah, object name split. Object name equals object URL dot split. That's how we got the object name.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, just grab that line. And that'll go in the main function. I guess it doesn't matter. We could do it in either spot. Plus, yeah, since the we're not, the inputs for that method are the bucket name, object name, and prompt. So if we're going to get the object name, we should do that from the main method before we pass it.
So this one right here, or
so that's returning the URL. So below that, below the transcribe file summarize.
Oh, this one right here.
Yeah, anywhere below that, you can add the object name equals. And yeah, it's going to be transcribe file summarize. And then the split function.
Dot split.
Yeah, dot split.
Okay. So I guess we don't need this line then, do we?
Nope. Don't need that line in the method.
Okay, let's remove this.
Oh, but we still need to get the S3 object. Did you delete the line that gets the S3 object?
Let's go back here and see.
Yeah. We don't need the image content thing.
Yeah, we just need the response, right? Okay, so let's response equals s3 dot get object bucket name. Key object name would be.
No, that should be all okay because we are passing it the bucket name and the object name as
up here,
part of the method.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, this reference is up here.
It will. We haven't added this method to our main, but once we do, yeah. Once we have the response, we have to pull out the file content.
Okay, so object name transcribe file summarize dot split.
Now this is fine. Below object name, you just want to invoke this. Yeah, result equals the summarized transcript. Yep, that should be good. Hey.
And that's it? No, we're missing.
Well, we need to update the summarized transcript with Bedrock function to be correct.
Oh, right. Okay.
So below the response equals S3 get object on line 70, we
Mhm.
have to parse the file content. So you want to do that's actually
Transcript.
pretty close. So transcript content equals response body dot read. And I think we want to. I put something in private chat. We have to decode it using UTF-8.
So let me
So
just put this
after the
aside.
read, yeah,
And then,
that should work.
all right.
If you want to,
So, yeah, I'll just take this bit,
Mhm.
put that there, delete this. Okay. Payload. So we're talking to Claude. Prompt. We've got a prompt, right?
We have a prompt.
Where was our prompt actually?
It's in the main.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Okay. We got our prompt.
And then type text source data .json. That .json. It's got red squiggles next to it. Seems like it's angry.
Oh, sorry. Where are you seeing this? This right here?
Line 92.
Line 92. Oh, yeah, because I don't think it's complete.
The data would be the file content.
So this would be transcript.content or underscore content.
No. Oh yeah, transcript content. You're right. I don't know if we can do a .json on that. How were we handling that before?
Well, it was an image before, so
Okay. So we could probably just do and then type text prompt. Yeah, that actually looks good. And then
okay.
convert the payload to bytes, invoke the model. Yeah, I mean, I guess let her rip. See what happens.
All right, let's fire away. Okay, let me do the file path again. Gotta remove those quotes. Oops. No, that's no fun. I just want to get rid of that. My terminal won't let me go to the beginning of the line. Why is it doing this? Here's what I'll do. Just copy this. I think we're almost there.
We'll see.
Ooh,
Nope.
okay. Transcribe underscore file example job object URI.
Is it because we reuse the same job name?
Maybe it's possible.
It should say in the full trace back. Yep. Scroll down again. I saw it in the terminal output. Keep going. The requested job already exists. Use a different job name. Yep.
All right, let's
We've changed the job name.
Where did I put that job name? I think I hit it somewhere.
Yeah, I think we had it hard coded into the maybe hard coded into the Oh no, we passed it. Okay.
It's right there. I don't know. I'll call it live on main.
All right.
Let it rip. And if not, we're going to debug further next week. Oh no.
It says the file wasn't found. I think something got screwed up with the path you were typing in.
Oh really? I thought oh, this should be this is the same one we used all this time.
Yeah.
Should I just rename the file?
I don't know. I think we're gonna have to save debugging for next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it. I mean, we made some good progress. We actually managed to do some interesting things today, right?
Well, yeah, we learned a little bit about transcribe. That was something that I didn't know a whole lot about. And now at least I know kind of how it functions. Like you invoke a transcription job and you have to let it go do its thing for a while. And you can like hook it up to an S3 event using Lambda, and maybe that's the goal of next week, is to debug what the trouble we were having with the function this time around, and then start separating this to be something that actually runs in Lambda instead.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, we've made some significant progress, and we're touching like a variety of AWS services that, like I've used S3 before. I've used a little bit of Lambda previously. I've never used transcribe. So you're right. Like this is a first for me, and we're doing it in a very programmatic sense. So
we're trying.
We're trying. We're getting there. We got excellent Python expertise here. Thank you so much, Ned, for being that expert here.
Doing what I can.
But to our audience, thank you so much for coming by and hanging around with us, even though, we got a little, super technical and debugging and doing all the fun stuff, but we hope to see you next week.
All right. Sounds great.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good Friday. Bye.